Waiting for the K-Ray. What? He's not in the webinar. Oh, Tracy's here. Yeah. Kelty's here. Oh, and he's got a Cyberlink UCam.
I don't see that Kelty's in.
I think he's incoming. There's Kelty.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Can you hear us, or is there a big delay?
I can hear you.
How would
No
he
delay.
know there's a big delay? He's not in the house.
Well, I can see Dad's lips moving.
Oh, okay.
How do you know I'm lying?
This is totally stating it forth
Okay,
to whoever's.
on the other hand, Mom's voice is randomly cutting in and out.
Yeah, her microphone is bad.
Also, whenever she talks, my view of you goes away.
I know. So whoever's talking, the camera, the picture changes to the person who's talking.
That's weird.
I'm totally annoyed.
Multiple people talk at once.
Well, what if we turn off the camera?
Yep.
And now what happens?
Still switches.
Turn off your camera, Kelty.
Maybe it's only the presenters that see that change. I think that I get to control what people see.
Okay, now we see you.
But you just see the little smiling face of me, right?
Yeah, Kelty talk.
Okay, now do you see the smiling face
Hello,
of Tracy?
hello, hello.
You know, when Kelty a rabbit with a pancake on its head.
Oh.
When I talk, do you see me?
No.
Oh, this is terrible.
All right, I'm going to hide your picture from the broadcast, and I'm the only one who's allowed. I don't know. But you got muted. Oh, I muted you.
I had to unmute myself. It sent me a note to unmute myself.
Kelty, you'll need to unmute yourself as well.
Okay, now normally you would be doing a PowerPoint or something. Are you going to be able to do that?
Yeah, I will be able to do that. In fact, I'll approximate that.
You have to tape?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I can hear you, yes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share Audacity. And now the only thing that anyone will see, oops, that's not the Audacity window I want to share, though. I'm going to share this Audacity window. Okay, there. Everyone who's on the podcast will now see my Audacity window.
That's exciting.
Isn't it, though?
Wow, that's really cool.
Okay, so Ken and Tate should be in your office with you so that we can do this as a conference.
Yep. Okay, Quinn. Get a chair and pull it in here. Quinn, come in here.
Kelty?
You're still listening, but you can't broadcast.
Here?
Doesn't matter.
Dad shot a few squirrels the last 2 days.
Yeah, I saw the Facebook post.
One squirrel or 2 squirrels, and then today he shot one, and we looked out the window, and there was 7.
Did you shoot them all?
No, because he wasn't home. It was like he shot the main squirrel, and once he shot that squirrel, all of the other squirrels came out of hiding.
It was a gatekeeper squirrel.
Now we can see your
You got a chair right there, Quinn.
Yep.
What,
Was the other one you shot? Was the other one you shot the Keymaster squirrel?
Must have been.
Yeah, must have been.
La-li-la-li-da-dee-da.
All right. Well,
Okay, that Audacity is really, really distracting.
then I'll just turn it off, and you'll see nothing, and you'll like it.
Okay, that's fine.
Photo of our family or something.
All right. Well, it's just going to be an audio. We're not going to have anything else. Okay.
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 So explain to the kids what this is about.
All right. Well, maybe it's a bit of a surprise. We're going to talk about your experiences with an allowance. We're going to talk about some of the things that happened to you, some things that you learned. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. It's going to be you talking most of the time. You can share stories. Kelty, are you swimming or something?
What? Am I what?
What,
Swimming?
Sounds like there's a sitcom on in the background or something.
Nope. Nothing.
That's Quinn getting lots of ice.
Haha. There you go.
Hold on. Quinn or Kelt, are you using your headphones?
No. Should I be?
Yeah, use your headphones, then you won't get feedback. I think
Okay.
that's happening.
Just a sec.
How about you, Tracy? Are you using headphones?
I can't because then I can't hear you.
Okay. Well, you actually sound pretty good.
Hold on. I'll give you my headphones.
This is going to be totally awesome.
I don't see anything.
You don't need to see anything.
No,
This is
upstairs.
audio only.
My
No,
headphones are
I think
super
so.
awesome.
Tate, this would be a classic example of us not knowing how to do something and learning.
We have no idea what we're doing.
Can't hear anything.
I could be sleeping.
Are you
Tate
guys
says she
talking?
could be
'Cause Quinn's trying to set me up with headphones. You have really long fingernails. My other headphones always work.
Hey, Dad, what should we get Mom for Christmas?
Wonder why they were muted. I'm not muted anymore, but that's really odd because I use that headset all the time. I think Google Hangout goes in and changes your settings.
That must be. It's an
Well, no, I'm
evil-
serious. No, I've heard a lot of issues with Google Hangout, but I mean, think about it. It muted my earpiece. I use that earpiece constantly with this computer, and it's never been muted before. And my speaker was off.
All right, Quinn, we're waiting for you.
He was helping me.
What is that?
Who's
What are
opening
you-
ramen?
I'm eating.
Kelty?
I'm eating yellow wafers.
Yeah, let's hold off on the Nilla wafers for just a wee bit.
We're going to be recording this, Kelty, for people to listen to. Kelty, Dad will mute you.
I would if I knew
Okay, I'll
how.
stop.
Says mute, Dad.
Oh, I can mute him right there. Oh, I just muted him. And I just muted the momster. You'll have to unmute yourself when you want to talk again, unless I can figure that out too. Nope. I can't. Oh, snap.
I'm back.
Okay, you're back. You unmuted yourself?
I unmuted myself.
All right. Are we ready to begin? This is just going to be organic. I've got a couple of notes. I've got a bunch of questions. We'll see how long it takes. Everyone gets a chance to talk. Don't be afraid to have fun if you want to. Tate, forget that we're recording it because you get goofy.
We're going to be recording everything and using it for later, so if you want to ask a question or make a comment that should not be on the recording, use the chat box, Kelty.
Like for instance, saying my social security number.
Right, yeah.
Well, that would be a useful thing to talk about in the importance of data security and knowing your credit score.
For example, my social security number is.
But do you guys remember that though?
Yes, definitely. But yeah, you could say when Dad asks if there's anything important that you've learned through this budgeting, it's to protect your social security number. You might also say, Kelty, that one of the things that you've learned is to, when it says to call and activate your debit card, that would be a good thing to do, and to maybe open the mail from the bank. You've learned a lot of lessons in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
When your dad asks you to confirm a transaction via Gmail, you should probably respond to him.
I totally forgot about that email. Oh, you know the funny thing about getting getting an online account with the bank is an actually need to fill out paperwork, go to the bank and give them a paperwork, and then they'll mail me back account information for an online account.
To make a whole bunch of feedback.
It is like
No.
the least efficient way of creating an online account possible.
Banks like paper.
Did
All
you
right.
fig-
Well, we're
Did you figure out how to
we're-
record?
yeah, I'm recording all of this. We're wasting
Okay.
daylight here. These are good topics of conversation to have during our podcast break, which is going to start soon. I'm going to give the clap break, and then the nice introduction. Ready?
Wait.
Okay. Wait. Everybody, get their sillies out right now. Quinn, go.
So why would the microphone not be picking up the?
Because what this microphone picks up is not broadcasted there. Google's that smart.
Okay.
Got it?
Nope, but
All right. Here we go. It's not smart enough not to do on the other end. Okay, everybody be quiet because I'm going to have a nice introduction because it was a really good idea that the monster had.
Kelty, do you have a TV or radio or something on in the background?
No.
do you have an alien?
not the last time I checked.
I think, Kelty, are you using headphones?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because it sounded like feedback. Okay, now, everybody be quiet because I'm going to give the intro thing.
Boo!
Hi, this is the Shroyer family. This is a special event. We've gotten everybody together, mom, dad, and the 3 kids. And we're going to talk a little bit candidly with all of the kids about their experiences growing up in this crazy family with these wacky money ideas that we've had, the things that have worked well, maybe some of the things that haven't worked. And I see that the dog is also making an entrance now. I just want to start it out. Let's go right back to the beginning. Does anybody have any memories of having a piggy bank? What do you remember, and what do you want to say about that?
Well, I had like a little piggy bank that had, and the piggy had a cowboy hat, and I would put all of my loose change that I would wind up getting, and every little dollar I'd get, and all of the specialty money that I would get, because at some point someone had told me that this was going to help me at some point in the future, and that I was going to be able to use it to get something cool.
Interesting. So it's just was it that kind of abstract? You didn't know why you were saving it, just that it was a good idea to?
Pretty much, yeah.
Tate, did you ever have a piggy bank?
I didn't have a piggy bank, but I had a little ATM bank
Oh yeah.
with the real key.
So how did that work?
stuck in.
How did that work? Tell me about what that did.
Well, I had it for a while, so I put money into it, and I thought that was going to be my car money, and it never was. And then I took the money out, and then I lost the key, so I couldn't ever open it.
Okay. Do you anybody ever remember taking money out of a piggy bank for anything?
Oh, very often.
I was gonna say Kelty. Kelty was the king of shaking the coins out of the piggy bank.
I still do.
Well, you don't
My piggy
have a
bank.
piggy bank, do you?
Yeah, I do at home. It's just for loose change though.
Oh, okay.
Right now it's primarily composed of quarters. I mean, of nickels, dimes, and pennies. It has almost no quarters in it because they take the quarters out.
How do the quarters? So you fish through it to get the quarters out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember taking my money out and bringing it to church just to donut.
And well, that was fun though.
Yeah.
There's probably nothing wrong with that.
No.
How old do you think you were when you did that?
6, 7.
It's like we have aliens on the line. I don't get that.
It's the NSA. The NSA is tapping in.
Okay. We'll be able to cut a little bit of that out, maybe a little bit. Let's move on. So piggy bank was kind of the first stage, and we moved on to share, save, spend. Did anybody remember when we started doing that?
Very vaguely. I remember the big chart.
So that wasn't a big thing for you?
It was just so long ago.
I remember the giant chart where we would chart our savings, and then we would have like a charity, it was a glass jar that we would put our charity money in, and then every 2 weeks we'd bring that money to church and then put that in the offering basket.
Yeah. Okay, this is not going to work. What is going on?
I have no idea.
Kelty, disconnect for a minute and then come back. I think it's you. Or actually, Brett, mute Kelty. Don't disconnect.
Okay.
Brett,
are we getting,
Kelty.
I did. Are we getting any of that noise right now?
Nope.
It's Kelty.
Tate, you're way too far from the microphone. We can't hear anything you're saying.
How are we gonna get Kelty on this if he sounds
Okay, unmute Kelty, and we need to browbeat him. He's got something in his background that's causing a problem.
Okay, wait. I'm going to take my headphones off, and I'm going to see if I hear anything at all.
It's your headphones.
No, I don't think you...
I think it is. I think what's happening is the microphone on his computer and the microphone on his headphones are interfering with each other.
I don't have a microphone on my headphones. I have earbuds.
Okay, now do you have your headphones? Are you using your headphones?
Yeah, I have been using my headphones. I think it might be.
Okay, unplug them.
I think it might be my computer fan.
Are they unplugged?
Yep.
Huh.
Kelty, can you mute yourself?
Yes.
Well, that makes it pretty hard for him to contribute.
Well, I understand, but if
he muted himself.
okay, here's the deal. If Kelty mutes himself whenever he's not talking, and then unmutes himself, talks, and then goes back on mute, it's how I do all my conference calls, by the way.
Sounds good.
Wow, that was fast, Kelty. I didn't even see you go off mute. I think he's got this. I think he's got this. All right, we'll take a little step back. Everybody, be quiet for 3, 2. Okay, share, save, spend. We went through this with all the kids, and I don't know if you remember share, save, spend. But if you do you remember anything about that idea or philosophy? How did it work?
I remember.
One thing.
Hey.
It didn't work.
Okay, Kelty first.
Okay, the only thing that I really remember about that is Tate spending all of her money right before Arizona. That's all I really got.
Well, that was just her savings plan. We'll get to that in a second.
Oh, wait, what are we talking about?
Share, save, spend.
I thought that was the savings plan.
Oh boy. Okay.
Okay, so
I don't know what this is.
What I remember from that was that we had this giant graph up on our wall that we would graph our savings money in, and we'd get I think it was $15 a week or somewhere around there, and we would save a certain amount of that. We would be able to spend a certain amount of that, and then we'd we donate a certain amount, and the money that we'd put in that we choose to donate would go in a little glass jar, and it would stay there until we would go to church, and then we drop it in the offerings bin. And the saved money we would give to the Bank of Dad, and then it would go up onto the graph that was on our wall.
Okay. Well, that's about how that worked. But again, that's a little bit older. What I'm talking about was we had a period where you had jars. You had a jar that was in the laundry room that was for church. You had a jar that was for savings, and then you had some that went into your envelope for spending. Do you remember that? You were pretty little.
I don't remember that at all.
I remember taking money out of savings just to have.
I remember Tate. I remember Tate would take money out of her charity, and instead of putting it in the thing at church, she'd buy donuts or treats at church.
Well, I mean, she's buying it at church. The money still goes to charity, right?
I was thinking, yeah, it's church. It's got to be charity.
Sure.
Okay.
I think what I remember the most is that we didn't really have a plan. We sort of had picked up dibs and dabs for, from different ideas that we had heard that other people were doing, but we weren't consistent. We didn't really have a plan. Allowance was sort of when we got around to it, and there was no real framework around when the kids got to save what was in savings. We had a lot of arguments about what justified taking money out of savings, and when should the money from the savings jar actually go to the bank, and when it should actually go towards a new bike.
Yeah, and Share Save Spend back then it was with quarters, and it was a weekly thing. So every week they got $2, and they put 50 cents in savings, and they put 2 quarters into the charity jar, and the rest of that they got to save up, to go and buy treats or something. So I think they were 5, 6, 7 years old. It was really, really right at the start. But I want to jump into, everyone was talking about the savings charts, and when they started really saving a lot of money. This is when we started going to a monthly allowance, and they were keeping money then. They had a little envelope that they kept money in, but they also had a savings envelope that was part of that. So it was one of those accordion files. And who remembers saving money up and putting money away? Quinn, you've already talked about it. Tate, you talked about it on the other side. But how did that go? Saving money. And you were probably, this was between 8 and 10 years old when you all were doing this.
Younger than that. It was younger than that.
Okay.
It was hard seeing putting money into savings and just seeing it pile up because you had a feeling that you wanted to buy something even though you had like a trip coming up or you wanted the CD or something. I remember always wanting that money to go away somewhere, not just in one spot.
So you felt like when you had a lot of money in savings that you wanted to spend it on something?
Yeah.
Okay. Quinn, how about you?
Yeah, I definitely remember that, where you'd have $150 that you'd be saving for a plane ticket in maybe a half a year, and there would be there was a computer game that I really, really wanted to get that would have used a lot of that money, and I both really wanted the computer game, but also really wanted to go use that money for a plane ticket so that I could go on a vacation. So it was hard to choose between which thing was which and what I wanted more.
Kelty, anything from you on that?
I'm sorry, but I really don't remember any of this. I have no recollection.
I'm not surprised. You were probably reading a book for those two.
The only thing I remember is the chart. I have just a mental image of that chart showing Quentin and R's lines going boop 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 boop, and Tate's going boop 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 boop,
Yeah.
and taking a dive. That's all I remember.
And we did a fun thing where every time they put money into the Bank of Dad, that's when they took it out of their envelope and gave it to me, and I'd put it in the bank for them, and I'd put a matching deposit in, and then we'd go over to the chart in the wall and we'd draw the line to where their new savings level was. And it was fun to see that line going up and up, and Tate's looked like a mountain range with lots of valleys. The boys tended to
I
continue
believe
going up.
I was ahead of everyone.
You were ahead of everyone at least twice.
Yeah.
Tate also did a lot of like extra jobs, and every time they got gift money, sometimes they'd put the gift money in there. Let's talk about gift money. What do you think right now? You know, it's your birthday, and let's say you get $40 or $50. What do you do with that?
What I would do is I would think about if I really wanted like a plane ticket, I would probably go towards that. Or if I didn't really need anything, I'd probably I think put it into savings.
Okay.
What I do with any birthday money that I get is I don't put it in my wallet because I know that if I do that, I'm going to spend it. But instead, because I up until this point I haven't been able to go to the bank, I just put in my cabinet until there's an expensive thing that I want to buy, such as a game or like a Lego set or something, and then I take that money out of my cabinet and use
It
it.
seems like you're like a squirrel where you have lots of little places where you stash money away.
Yep.
Uh,
I had a point where I had probably $300 under my mattress that I stored.
Kelty, how about you?
um, I think when I remember is what is every time I got gift money, which was almost always in December, since that's when. What was that? That was a weird noise. Anyway, every time I got gift money, which was almost always in December, since that's when all of my birthday, Christmas, whatever. Whenever I got money, I would usually figure out if I had anything coming up in the next 6 or so months. And if I did, I would put half of my gift money towards that, and the other half I'd just keep for whatever I wanted to do with it.
Do any of you remember when we first put you on a budget and what you thought about that whole idea? What did you think of at first when we said, okay, we have a new plan and this is what we're going to do?
I wasn't really fond of it because then we had to. You first said, hey, we're going to give you $120 every month, and then that really got our hopes up.
When we said that, you're pretty excited, you have to admit.
Oh yeah, definitely. We thought, hey, we're going to be able to buy everything we want to. And then you pointed out that we were going to have to divide this $120 up into 7 different categories so that you would no longer pay for any of our clothing, our shoes, any extra food that we wanted. And then that excitement really went away because we realized that we were probably only going to get $5 to $10 for fun money, which was actually a decrease from what we were getting previously.
Yeah, that's right. You're getting like $2 or $3 a week in fun money before that,
Right.
and now you're getting $5 to $10 a month afterwards.
We really had to think about what was really necessary on buying, like for clothing, if we really wanted to buy those really expensive shoes, or if we really wanted to wait and save up and then buy them, or just ask for them for our birthdays or something.
I got a question for everyone. What are you saving for right now?
Two things that I'm interested in. As a major goal is sea base for Boy Scouts because I really want to do that, and that's I'm gonna put my if I no, no. I'm saving for that, and then as more of a secondary goal, I also kind of want to build make a homebrew PC, and I'm kind of saving up for that just because I think that would be a cool thing to do.
Okay. So both of those are multiple $100 savings.
Yeah. These would be like long term.
And Tate, you're saving for a Mustang, obviously.
Well, I kind of gave up on that, but my number one is probably a plane ticket to Arizona for spring break this year, and then my second would be a Mustang.
Okay.
What about camp next summer?
Also camp.
Okay, Quinn, what are you saving for?
I'm saving. Well, I'm actually not really saving anything because I'm actively spending all of the money on replacement parts and accessories for restoring a pickup. which is a lot of work.
So it sounds like nobody's really got long-term savings goals in mind right now, which is something I've been meaning to talk to you about. Does anybody have, what do you think about when you think of the term long-term savings?
For me, it would be, it's gonna take a long time. Like for camp, if I have to pay for it on my own, because you guys usually helped with half of it last year. If I have to pay for it on my own, I really need to put all the money that I earn into savings to actually get that before next year.
So for you, long-term savings is camp next summer.
Yeah.
Okay. Quinn?
Mine is probably partially camp, but mostly my long-term saving thing would be college, because even though I'm shooting to get scholarships, I know that I'm not gonna get a free trip to college, and that that I will still need to pay for probably at least half of tuition and boarding and everything.
Yeah, that's a fairly realistic viewpoint.
Yeah. So any money that doesn't go to my truck would go to going towards college.
And you don't even have a girlfriend yet.
Nope.
Kelty, what are your views on long-term savings?
I think for me it'd probably be mostly college.
College?
At this point, college, yeah.
Okay.
At this point, I don't think I'm too concerned about getting a car, just because I don't think I'll need one, considering the fact we have 3 cars. And
I couldn't hear you. You cut out there, Kelty. What did you say?
I don't think I'll need a car anytime soon, considering that, well, first
Oh,
of all,
a car.
unfortunately,
Okay.
yeah, and second of all,
He's going to use bicycle.
But you're the one that said you didn't want a phone till Mom and Dad gave you a phone.
that's kind of what I'm hoping for, is I get a job and they give me a car, so I don't have to use it.
Yeah, keep hoping for that.
Yeah.
It worked with a phone.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But
You were still going?
yeah, but I think probably just saving for college, just because obviously it's college and it's expensive. So that's pretty much it in terms of long-term goals.
I think we should maybe have you save up for a better internet connection.
I don't know that.
Well, that's a good point to bring up, is that as we're recording this call, and it will put some of what Kelty's saying into perspective, that Kelty isn't actually in our house with us. There are 4 of us here in the house. Kelty is away at school, which is another story in and of itself, but that's why some of the things that he's saying it will make more sense if you know that.
Yeah. Kelty is Tracy, you completely dropped out. We didn't hear anything you said.
Oh.
Kelty, but I'll say it now. Kelty is going to school at a boarding school in Tennessee, where he received an academic scholarship. So he is doing things separately from us, but we get together quite often during the week to talk or to text. In this case, we're doing this podcast all together, so we try to spend as much family time together. And hopefully he's continuing some of the money lessons that he's learned here down there, though it kind of sounds like we haven't taught as many money lessons as we really thought we would have, based upon the conversation coming up today.
Well, and it does give Kelty unique perspective. So in listening to some of the things that he will be discussing, you'll realize that he is literally out on his own right now, and so he's experiencing some real world issues. Certainly we still support him in some ways, but in other ways he's dealing with things as if he were away at college.
Yeah, it's an interesting experiment, right, Kelty?
What?
Kelty?
What? Huh? I'm here.
What have you learned while you've been out on your own that you were surprised by, or money lessons that you've learned since you've been away?
Paying with a debit card is a lot easier than it seems. I thought it would be, I have to sign something every time I paid, but it's actually been really easy. But apart from that, nothing really surprised me.
Well, there's some things that surprised us. How about if you talk a little bit about when you got your debit card? What did you learn about getting a debit card when you were living on your own for the first time?
I don't. Could you elaborate? I honestly am not sure
Have you
what
ever
if I
noticed,
know what you mean.
Kelty?
Kelty, we prepared you for this before we started recording.
Did you notice the sticker that came on the front of your debit card?
Oh, that's not really it has anything to do with money. That's just me being lazy. That's completely different.
That's just Kelty being lazy. I'm glad he admitted it.
That's just Kelty being Kelty.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask the question again, and Kelty, I want you to answer it without just saying you're lazy, and we can cut this part of the conversation out.
Okay.
Kelty,
But,
when
wait. But what do you want me to say? What do you,
I learned that I should read things carefully. I learned I should open mail from the bank. I learned that even when it says that you can activate a card in the ATM, and if it doesn't work, maybe you should call the phone number. Those types of things.
okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Hey, Kelty, are there any things that you learned when you moved out on your own about money and managing your money?
Probably. Well, something that happened in the first couple weeks of being here is I got a new debit card as part of the whole deal, just because there's a bank near the school and I could, get money out of the ATM, whatever. And with the debit card needed to be activated, and it said you can either go to an ATM and activate the card, or you can call this number. And so I just figured I'd go to the ATM, and and the other thing is the whole deal came with a whole bunch of mail, and I only opened the mail that had the card in it, and I just threw everything else in my inbox, whatever. And so I went to the ATM, tried to tried to activate it. It didn't work for some reason, and and okay. I wonder why this isn't working. It's a transaction not authorized, or whatever. And so I went. So then I went back to I went back to my dorm, and I was just kind of forgot about it. And then probably a month later, when my mom and dad came down, um, it came up again, and I said, well, I went to the ATM and it didn't work. And they said, well, did you call the number? And I said, well, no, it didn't work. And they said, well, you should call the number. And and um, and so they called. So I don't remember if it was them or if it was me that called the number, but it was one of us. And they asked for all this information. They asked for the PIN number for the credit card, and they gave them what I thought the PIN number was, and that wasn't the PIN number. And and so they said, well, there's your problem. So then I actually opened all of the mail that I had gotten sent that I'd never opened, and I found where my PIN number actually was. And that was very helpful because then I knew what my PIN number was, and I could actually use my debit card. Hello?
I think
Are you
I
there?
might have fallen asleep. I'm sorry.
Everyone was just silent.
Wow, that was a short story turned long. That was amazing.
I appear to have a special gift for that, I guess.
Okay, I've one final question to talk about before we turn everybody loose for tonight. Um, what is the biggest mistake you've ever made with money? Who wants to start?
I think Tate should start.
Tate wants to start. Okay, but this isn't the time for a 20-minute story.
Do I ever talk 20 minutes?
No, I actually usually don't. I'm just saying that preemptively for Kelty's benefit.
Oh.
you know your audience, I guess. Or
Um, we were trying to save up to go down to Arizona for spring break, I believe, when we were 12, 13.
No, you're younger than that.
Were we younger? Okay.
Yeah, you were like 10.
10? Okay.
Yeah.
So when we were 10, I was way ahead of everyone with my savings, and by that time I was done saving up, and we were just waiting to buy the tickets. And one night I decided, well, I think I'm gonna go to Target and spend all that money that I'm trying to save up for Arizona.
What'd you get?
Just I don't even remember. Just
So that was awesome. Did you go to Arizona with?
I did not get to go to Arizona. Well, I have to admit, I did have plenty of fun with Dad at home, going snowboarding and shoveling in the snow.
But how did you feel when everybody else got on the airplane and you didn't get to go?
It was hard, but it was hard. Yeah, it was hard.
Yeah, it was hard. She had a few tears in her eyes as we were driving away from the airport, leaving everybody else behind.
All right.
Anybody else have
My biggest problem didn't actually happen very long ago. It happened about 6 months ago, and one of my friends' birthdays was coming up, and it was and me and other friends had decided that it was going to be like a Portal themed birthday at school, and I decided that I was going to build Portal's a video game. I was going to build a scene from this video game, and I figured it all out, and it was going to cost me about $200. And I'd never told Mama T or my dad about it, and I asked them to go to Home Depot, and they asked why, and I told them, and they're like, no, absolutely not. And I was prepared without even thinking about it to spend $200 on something that is now just sitting in our barn doing nothing, and the fun lasted for a half hour, and then it was over. So they wound up convincing me that I should just make it out of scrap materials that I could find, and it wound up costing me less than $20. And I'm looking back on it, I'm really, really glad that I didn't wind up doing that, and that they prevented me from doing that.
Kelty, have you made any mistakes with money?
Yeah. I sorry, just took me a second to unmute myself. I had a brief period where I just, for some reason, decided that money didn't really matter in terms of how much of it I had. So I just decided I was just gonna buy tons of stuff. So I just bought, video games, books, all sorts of stuff. And very quickly, I drained my entire bank account, and that didn't go over very well with anyone. And I lost access to money for quite a while. Other unpleasant consequences happened, and other than that, though, it wasn't incredibly bad.
So yeah, other than the fact that you lost all access to money, it wasn't too bad.
I was trying to cut the story short.
Well, you did keep it short. All right. Well, these are some of the thoughts that we had on kids and money. It's been a long road that we've been down. Our kids, I think, are well equipped now to be handling money, as Tracy mentioned. Kelty's at school on his own, and we can see his account balances. We know what he's doing, and he's not out blowing his money, but he's actually buying useful things to maintain his life down there. Our kids here are, for all that we can see, they're doing a pretty good job. But more than anything, maybe the last thing to talk about is, do we ever? I mean, we have a lot of stuff that we talk about. We have stuff that we disagree about. Is money ever something that we have disagreements about around here?
Yes. I mean, I think so.
Like what?
About some savings, like what the kids think as savings as compared to the parents.
Okay.
And
how have we resolved that? Where are we at now with savings?
Yeah, I mean, we've thought about it, like how there's a certain amount of money that should be past like $100 that's savings.
Okay. Well, you're
like for a car. Like a car is really expensive, and it takes a long time to save for that, so that we count that as savings.
Yeah. Quinn?
Not really with savings, but with every other category that we have. We're at the point now where buying shoes is obviously going to fall into the shoes category, and that even if we don't follow it sometimes, we know whether or not one thing would go into one category or another, and whether or not based on the fact that it would be in category A versus category B if we can buy it, because category A might not have enough money, but category A and B might. But that
So you're learning how to manage your budget and be flexible with your budget, but knowing you still got to fit it all in the budget.
right.
Okay. Yeah, and Tate, there's probably something invisible that you're not thinking of, and something we've been doing with all the kids with short-term and long-term savings, that you've been putting money into long-term savings that you don't even know about.
Right.
I mean, you knew about it a long time ago, but you never see it, you never touch it, and that money continues to accumulate. Every time you take money out of savings, you are also putting money back into long-term savings. I don't know if you even realize that.
What?
Not really.
Yeah, I guess nobody did. Well, this will be a topic for another week, I guess. We'll have to educate them before we get there. But there's another set of savings accounts for you, which are, your true long-term savings accounts that you don't even have access to right now, that you'll get when you're adults.
But as a teenage girl, I kind of think this is really nice, and because I feel like I know what I can spend my money on, and not asking my parents for money. And like when I go to the mall, if I go to the mall with my friends, I have money, and I can say, okay, I have $40 for clothing, so then I can decide what I really want for clothing, and I don't have to spend all that money or give it back to my parents when I get home.
Okay, great. Well, it's getting late here. Kelty, you had something?
I just kind of wanted to reiterate what Quinn said, that it's basically been, for the most part with me, learning that it's not keeping it very strictly within the categories you're given. Like when we first started, I was very much, how am I going to be able to handle this? I can't keep track of all these things and all these categories, and even that was easier than I thought. But it's also kind of been about, figuring out that what you are. Like, it's less about being very strict with yourself and more about learning that if you need money from one category and you have a ton of excess money, that there is some give and take between keeping yourself on track and being able to cheat a little bit when it's necessary. And eventually, it's not really even cheating; it's just knowing that it's more of general guidelines with your budgets than it is having to stick to them, because sometimes you just can't stick to them. You need to borrow from other categories.
It feels good as a parent to hear that, knowing that kids you're looking at the big picture, knowing you've got money, that you don't have an infinite amount of money, and understanding what those limits are and where you can spend money and where you've got some room, knowing that sometimes you might have some unexpected needs and you have to shift things around, but you understand how to manage that, and you're looking long term, and I think you understand the value of a dollar well. Well, Tracy, anything parting comments or thoughts from you?
No, not really. I think that it gives some insight. I find it very interesting what the kids remember, what their highlights are, and the things that they remember, and it brings home to me the fact that for you and I, we worked so hard to make this a seamless process for them, and I think ultimately that worked. They don't remember the ups and the downs. They remember the things that we wanted them to remember. I think they've taken away quite a few lessons. Maybe some of them are, didn't work out exactly the way we wanted. Maybe in some cases we learned the lesson rather than
That's what I was thinking. They don't remember all of our mistakes and the things that we've done wrong. But where they are now is ultimately where we settled as something that worked, and that's what's working for them right now.
Right, and even now it's not a perfect system, but it's a very real world system in that, when they're out on their own, there is nobody to tell them exactly which categories they can be spending from, and at ages 14, 15, and 16, they're already realizing that I can spend my money in a way that I probably shouldn't, but I am going to pay the price in the long run. And I think that that's probably exactly what we wanted to have happen, although the road getting there may not have been exactly what we envisioned.
Yeah. All right, thanks. That was well said. I appreciate that. And thanks for being honest, I hope, and open to the kids. I've enjoyed this conversation. Hopefully, you all listening out there also have gotten something out of this. We can continue the conversation. We'd love to hear what's going on in your lives and what you're doing with your kids. Just join us at 401kkid.com and join in the conversation. We'd love to hear you.
Ciao.
Ciao.
What? Oh. Never mind. Bye.
Yeah, we got to figure out what the problem is with Kelty.
Are you saying there's a problem with me?
You're noisy.
Why can't you just accept me the way I am? I was born this way.
You haven't talked to Quinn and Tate. Do you want to tell them anything about your fun day yesterday?
Oh, actually, can I tell you something about today?
Sure.
Okay, have any of you heard about why did Tate leave the call?
Tate is with Dad and Quinn in his office.
Oh, okay. Anyway, have any of you guys heard of Genghis Grill?
Heard of
No,
Genghis
well, I have because you
I've
told
heard
me
of
about it.
Khan's Mongolian barbecue.
You know, Genghis Grill is it's my new favorite chain restaurant. It's even better than Jimmy John's. And that's saying something.
It's where you go into a salad bar, you fill up a bowl, and then they take it to a giant grill, and they stir fry your stuff, right?
Oh, yeah, so you have heard of it.
Yeah.
Well, but that's what
That is
Khan's
so
is.
good.
It's Mongolian barbecue.
Yeah, it's Mongol. It's basically build your own stir fry, and it is so good.
And so let me guess, what you did is you got 2 little scraps of vegetables and a giant bowl of steak.
No, I got steak chips. I got spicy chicken. I got spicy. I got more spice. I got different kind of spicy chicken. And I got regular chicken. I got jalapenos. I got the really ultra super spicy chili sauce.
No shrimp?
They didn't have shrimp.
Oh, okay.
And they did have crab though, which surprised me.
Yeah, crab. Steak and crab's good.
Yeah, I didn't get that though, because I was going for spicy because I hadn't had something really spicy in a while. And then I also got the spiciest sauce, and that was really, really good. That was amazing. And it's cheap too. It's like for a regular sized bowl, it's only $9, and it's totally worth it.
Did you all eat there today?
Most of us did.
Okay.
I think a couple people ate somewhere different, but I don't know where.
So good. You're hanging with some friends and having fun. What are you gonna do tomorrow?
Probably work on some homework. There's a movie trip at 2, so I might go on that.
A what?
A movie trip.
Okay.
And then I might just hang out and play video games or whatever.
Have a down day.
Yeah. Oh, say, Dad, did you check out that sale on Steam?
I did not.
Okay. Because it goes until tomorrow sometime, just so you know.
Okay, and what is the ultra super sale price?
It's Europa Universalis is for it's regularly $40, I think, and now it's 9. It's 10, I guess. Yeah, it's 40 down to 10.
Oh,
And
man.
they also
$10?
it's all of Paradox. Is that too much for you?
I don't know.
and then also, do you know what the game Magica is? I think I vaguely recall discussing that with you.
No, I don't remember.
Magica, it's 3 players and it's kind of like a puzzle game.
Nope.
Anyway,
Have you talked to Grandma to see? Oh, go ahead.
I finished what I was going to say.
Have you talked to Grandma to see how she likes her game?
I talked to her today. I Skyped with Uncle Troy and she happened to be there, but I forgot to ask her about that.
Okay. Did
For
you
some
see
reason,
the littles?
Yep, they talked to me. For some reason, my camera didn't work though, and I don't think it's working now either.
I can turn your camera on. Hold on.
Oh, now we get to see what you're doing.
Except his computer.
Is he wearing that pink shirt, do you think? Oh, he's muted.
I saw your camera earlier, Kelty. You need to unmute yourself again.
Well, at the top, Kelty, is your camera button. Does it have a slash through it?
Now it doesn't.
Oh, here you go.
Oh,
Oh, that's right. We only get to see UCam 3. Please start your cam, it says.
I don't know why it's doing that.
You can.
What happens if you click on that?
Nothing. That's just a passive thing in the background. Yeah.
Open up.
Okay.
You can.
Yes, he does. Open up UCam.
Okay, UCam is open.
Ah, hi, Kelty.
Oh, hey. Wonder why I have to actually have UCam open. That's weird.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Your room looks pretty clean.
Yeah.
You enjoying those sodas that Quinn gave you?
Yep, I've had 2 of them so far.
I can tell.
Goats.
Do you not have a garbage can in your room, or are you just saving
No,
the bottles?
I'm saving the bottles. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but they really have they have really cool labels on them.
Ah, which flavors did you have?
I had the one was called See You Later. And that was like a cola. And then there's also nuclear orange bomb, and nuclear orange bomb is the best soda I've ever had. It is amazing.
Was it
It is
orange
so
flavored?
good. Yeah, it's orange flavored, and it is just amazingly good.
Cool.
I don't know why, but it is so good.
Let's see. Can you
Oh,
see
also,
me now? Yeah.
no. Oh, also, I'm wearing my web hoodie. This is the most comfortable hoodie I think I've ever had. It's so comfy. It's great.
Do you ever wear the ugly one?
I haven't worn it yet.
That one's probably really soft on the inside too.
Yeah, I wore this one for the first time yesterday, so it's not like I've worn them a lot.
You took it to Six Flags and you didn't lose it.
Everyone's making weird. Quinn and Dad are making weird faces.
I see that. I just realized it's 9:30, Quinn. And Tate. Kelty doesn't have school tomorrow. Kelty, you shouldn't do that. Make your neck go away like that. It's really a disturbing look. You look like a creepy old man.
Blah blah blah. Bring me Han Solo.
All right. I think we need to be done with the video shenanigans.
Okay.
Why is that?
Because it's getting late.
Okay, fine.
Dad has to put together a whole course on teaching adults how to budget tonight.
That's not going to happen.
Adults on a budget?
Yeah, and we really do have to figure out more about this whole webinar process.
Yeah, I noticed.
Exactly how to make it work. Maybe if only one person or 2 people are talking and we don't have Kelty as one of those people, it'll work.
Oh, okay, I see. Wow, thanks. That's really nice.
So are the people on the other side of your bathroom, are they gone for the weekend?
No, Henry is there, but Lucas is
Okay. Okay. And when the dorm parents go to bed at night, do they lock your front door?
I don't know. Never tried to open it.
An
I
alarm
just wonder if
probably
you're.
goes off.
Do you lock your bedroom door?
Yep.
Okay.
Trust me, I've had this. I think the same thought, the same exact thought. I think is happening right now many times.
What's that?
Someone could just walk right in. Someone could just have a gun, just walk right in.
Yeah.
Kelty.
Although people wandering around with guns probably aren't real common in Bell Buckle unless they're hunting.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Jacques.
Okay. Time for everybody to go to bed.
All right, where's the poodle? I want to say hi to the poodle.
None of us has a camera. Oh, let's see. I'll go see if I can find him.
There's the poodle. Jacques, look.
Jock, what's this right here?
There you
Oh,
go.
no, he went away.
Oh, the poodle has abandoned me.
Here we go.
You lost the poodle.
Okay. Check up.
Jack, where's Tracy?
Oh, Mom. You just had him.
Jack.
Hello, Jacques. Does he recognize me?
Wait,
Hello.
he's looking for you. Oh, I don't have my. Okay, who's that?
Hey, Jacques. Hello. How are you doing?
He
smelling.
sniffed you, but you don't smell like anything, so
Yeah.
that's no good.
I smell like you.
You smell like the computer screen.
Yeah. Which probably
you're-
smells like you.
All right, well, this is going to be a great end to the hangout that's on our YouTube channel. Awesome.
Oh yeah. Wonderful.
Nice.
And to conclude, my social security number